Hey, good morning. So I thought I would just do another update, and having spent some time doing some observation of the beach sellers here in Lanzarote. Another, you'd think it was really early. The sun's just coming up. It's actually already after 8 a.m. Leading the glamorous life that I do. I've just done my recycling run, and I'm just on my way to get some breakfast provisions for the family. So there's some guys here that ply their trade selling, I don't even know what you call them, they're sort of really quite large, 8 feet by 8 feet maybe square patterned material. I don't know whether you'd make sarongs out of them, whether they're decorative for the home. Honestly, throw it over your furniture, do not know. Anyway, they walk up and down pushing these things all day long, and it really made me smile, because pretty much everyone that's on the beach is not from here, maybe except with the exception of Sundays. And one of the things that they push really hard is the lifetime guarantee. So I can imagine lots of people jumping on a plane to go and exchange this piece of cloth, which is really not worth very much. But you got to do what you got to do, right? But the guys that have really stood out to me are these guys that sell the refreshments, drinks and stuff. And I happened to say to my wife, oh, if only they did beer. I really fancy a beer right now. The other day, and they said, well, they do. And I said, really? Yeah. And here's the thing about getting the message right, is that this guy had been walking up and down probably 50 times, and all I'd heard was water, ice cream, Magnum, etc. I'd missed the fact that he did beer, so was missing out on a potential order. So having stopped him, he instantly went into a very well-worn patter. For some reason insisted on calling me Jimmy. Not really sure why. You'd typically associate that with a Scottish guy's name. I'm not Scottish. There's not much about me that suggests I'm Scottish, but there you are. It worked for him. So he had the beers, and he had this container under his arm of, what do you call it, styrofoam, sort of insulation thing. And out from there he pulled 3 small cans of beer, which in total was probably the equivalent of roughly about a pint, some pints worth of beer. And because I go and do my breakfast provisions and buy stuff for the house, I know roughly how much this stuff is, and that size can would probably be about 80 cents in the store. So he said, he pulls out 3 and he says, I'll give you 3 because I can do 3 for €5. Okay, cool. So going to watch this guy work. What I really loved about it was that there wasn't a do you want 1, do you want 2, do you want 3. It was just an assumed close at 3 cans for 5. Okay. He then, the next easy target was little boy, so Calipo ice lolly, sold. So he then really endears himself to my other half, because he said to my little boy Xander, come here, and he took his t-shirt, the guy's own t-shirt, and he wiped Xander's hands free of sand so that he could enjoy his lolly. So at this point, my wife and her mother are like, oh. So then he starts on them. So what can I get you? Nothing, says my wife. Mother-in-law, oh, I'll have a Magnum, please. And then he starts doing some other line of patter, which he made a complete bollocks of, actually. But what he was actually saying is, I shouldn't really sell this to you. You're already sweet enough as you are. But just this once, I'll let you have this Magnum. And it's like, talk about have the audience eating out of the palm of your hand. But he kind of knew who he's selling to, had done this patter a million times, and was able to adjust what he was offering and to whom on the hoof. Excuse me, I'm just adjusting my recycling bag, which is slipping onto the floor. He then says that's €9.50. Obviously, we were never going to. I say obviously, we were never going to ask for 50 cents change back. And then, as a parting shot, he says to my wife, and I've got this thing for you as well. And he kind of gave her, let's call it a free ice lolly as well. So the guy basically was stopped for a beer, ended up doing a nice assumed close on an upsell further to two other people, went away perfectly happy, leaving people behind that thought he was a great guy and would happily buy from him again. There's probably a lesson there in terms of how to approach your sales process if you want to maximize revenue. I think if you couple that on to what we were talking about the other day, which is about having people come to you in the first place that understand what you do and aren't there to just seek information, they're there to do something about it, to properly explore what you do with a view to actually making a purchase, I think it could make life a lot easier for a lot more people. What do you think? Anyway, let me know. I'm on a mission to secure pastries and coffee, so I will leave you to enjoy your day. Cheers for listening.